Mama se kungi betengo we kumoyi ingumada takana. Okyoso kinu kibanga se Manuele ngando mushisamye.
Welcome to episode 33 of the Two Lefty podcast. Today we had on the wonderful Mr. David Wilson, who currently lives in Düsseldorf, Germany. He's from Cameroon, and this was a really interesting episode because we talk a lot about the dance scene in Germany. I know nothing of that scene. I was born in Germany. I was born in Munich, so just to talk to someone who currently lives there is pretty amazing. We spoke a lot about him growing up in Cameroon, dancing with his friends there and everything, and not getting into salsa until he moved to France for university. We also talk about how from salsa he goes into bachata. It's so impressive because I never knew that there was such a big salsa dance scene in Germany. It really shows the effect that salsa has on the world. You can find it pretty much everywhere. It's so impressive. We talk about, how he was first introduced to Kizomba and, he was not a fan actually, that's pretty wild, he told me this crazy story where he was invited to go to a Congress, but he didn't have the money for it. And so one of his, fellow Kizomba classmates gave him rent money for the month, paid for his ticket to the Congress, and also paid for his trip there. It was so impressive. The love that people showed for him. That someone really wanted him to learn Kizomba. Man, it's amazing. This was a really cool episode, man. If you live in Germany, you never heard of this guy, you might want to check him out. He's a pretty cool, awesome dude. This is just a really cool opportunity to learn about the dancing scene outside of America, something that I know nothing about. So if you find value in this episode, man, I just want to ask that you, leave a like and subscribe. If it's not too much to ask, share with your people. And if there's no value to you, then, don't even worry about it. But I thoroughly enjoyed this episode with Mr. Donald Wilson. I hope you enjoy it. All right, cool. So right now I am on the line with a Mr. Donald Wilson, who currently lives in Düsseldorf, Germany. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, and you were born in Cameroon. I don't know, how do you say it? Yaoundé, Cameroon?
Yeah, exactly. I was born there 30 years ago. I'm already old, I'm telling you. And I moved to Europe 11 years ago, right after my my graduation from high school.
Okay. All right. And so you are the founder of Donald W. Swagg&Ginga and also Dance My Religion. And you
Yes, exactly.
And you're the CEO and founder at Afro Swag Crew, is that right?
Yeah. Afro Swag Crew started as let's say a friend thing. By the time I started teaching, I was training a guy. His name is Kevin. He's also teaching right now with his partner. And it started over we wanted to do a group where we meet people likewise with the same mind, with the same mindset.
Okay, yeah.
So we were okay, we need a name that's kind of flashy but still young and still kicking. So but something with Afro, because we Afro dancers and we wanted something that comes with the Afro thing. So we were we swag, we look cool, so let's do something like that. And we came up with Afro Swag Crew. And the idea was actually to build not just a crew of dancers, but a crew of almost a label where we have managers, we have DJs, we have designers, we have dancers. For now, I'm continuing to build it up. So I have a few dancers, teachers that I train all over the world that belongs to the label. I have 3 DJs. And right now I'm trying to make it right so that I can have 2-3 managers and designers that can really work on my artists and position them all around the world. That would be my little thing.
That's cool,
So
man. That's cool.
so yeah, it's a lot of work for now, but I really enjoy it.
I understand. I know you're busy, man. I'm curious, man. I want to know what was it like growing up in Cameroon?
Well, growing up in Cameroon, let's say it was like almost the best time I had, like because I had like, how can I put it? It's like where is my hometown, it's my root, it's where I know everyone and I know the neighborhood, you know.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So my life started there. It was really nice. I was kind of like going to high school, having my tennis crew, and I was coming from a pretty okay family, but I was still hanging out with the guy from the quarter all around my neighbors and everything. We had our little gang, and we're always like going around playing football on the street or going in the farm and just going on on the trees to catch some fruits and stuff like that. It was really great. It was really good time. By the time I have to admit, I was more into tennis, like lawn tennis, than dancing. It was actually my cousin that was more or less dancing. Me, I was the shy type that was dancing in his bedroom, kind of a thing,
Uh-huh.
and singing in my in the bathroom. So at the beginning, I wasn't really like the dancer. It's once that my cousin found me out dancing in my room. He was like, "Freaky hell, you need to come to my," because he had already a crew and everything. I was like, "No, I'm not doing it." And he was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta try it." So
Mhm.
that's how I kind of started with dancing, but not really started. It was hip hop. So I started going to the crew trainings and stuff like that. I was still in Cameroon before I then moved to Germany. And aside from tennis, I was still there going to clubs and dancing and doing a few trainings. And it's after a while that tennis became my main point. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Dancing, my bad.
I guess yeah. I'm curious, man. I guess what were you dancing in Cameroon?
Mostly
Okay.
hip hop, street dance. I wasn't in touch with the Latin word or Kizomba word, like not at all. He's a friend of mine actually. His name is Arnold. He's a Cameroonian artist as well, teacher. He's all around Europe, going really strong right now. He's doing Afro, Kizomba, and Samba. And he's the one that used to dance in Cameroon. He used to do all the ballroom dances.
Okay.
Me, I was like doing only tennis and going home and sometimes going to the crew trainings, but that was it.
Uh-huh.
Or hanging out with my friends in the quarter, or stuff like that. Normal
I get
thing.
you, man. I'm curious. You keep talking about tennis, but well, what got you into tennis? Did like your parents play tennis? How'd you get into it?
Yeah, my dad used to play tennis, and he brought all of us to play tennis. So it's kind of like for us a family sport, and also like it became a big addiction for me.
Okay.
It was actually my first love, like really love, and I really put everything to be a professional player. And I got drafted actually.
Oh
But the moment
wow.
I got drafted to be professional, I was like semi-professional for a year in Germany. Then I got injured on both shoulders.
Damn.
That's why I had to give up the tennis career, and I was a little bit under depression. It
Of
was a friend that
course.
took me to to dance to a salsa class at the university. That's how I came in touch with salsa and bachata and merengue and afro. So I started as a mean to just escape my depression, let's put it that way. And out of that, it became a really good passion because I started meeting other people. It was a way to socialize as well because I had difficulties with people. I knew like few Cameroonian, but it was like that's it. So dance helped me develop socially as well.
I definitely understand that, man. I'm curious, man. What do you think? I was it dancing. What helped you get out of your depression? Like, how'd you? How can someone, fight depression, man? What's the best way to get out of that?
I didn't get the question. Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, I got you, man. You say you were at a time when you injured your shoulders. You know, say you were
Yeah,
going through a little bit of depression, right?
yeah.
What's the best way, to combat, to fight depression, man? What can someone do to help with that?
I think is the best way is not running, is mostly facing, accepting the fact that it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, it's not gonna be easy, and maybe there are a few things that you're not able to do, but you just have to look at the bright side of the thing, look at what you have, and stick to what you have and what you can do with it. And I think that's the first thing. Like, remember what you have positively and try to make the best of it. And I think it's gonna reshape yourself and give you back your word as a person, because
Okay.
that's the hardest part for people.
I definitely understand that, man. That's so true. I wanna ask you, man, what was it like learning, salsa, bachata, and merengue? What was that like learning it?
Oh, it was adventurous. The moment I started, um, I get to the first party, and people were dancing, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know how to dance.
So
And
people were dancing like Latin dances in
salsa,
Cameroon. In
yes.
Cameroon?
No, no, no.
Uh,
It was in France already, in
oh, okay,
Europe.
okay. So you moved to France at that time.
Yeah, yeah. I was studying in France. I started my study in France. What is an exchange program? So they were like dancing salsa all around the world, all around the place, and I was like, oh, okay, that seems like there is a system behind it, and I don't get it. And the first thing happening, a black guy going to a salsa party, everybody would assume the guy is a killer. And I was like, nope, I can't dance. And the girl asked me, and I was like, I really can't dance. And she was like, oh, come on, you probably know how to dance. I was like, I'm gonna step on your feet so bad. So no. She was like, no, no, let's try. And we tried, it was a disaster. Like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I better sit and watch the people and try to just copy the movement. So I was like watching and starting to do the movement. After a while, I was like, oh, I start understand the system. So now I can do this, and they always turning the girl when they go back. So I started learning like that. And you can't believe, but at the end of the party, I danced with the very same girl. And she was like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, during the party, I was like, I don't know. I'm just copying what the guy
That's
over there is
awesome,
doing.
man. That's really cool.
And the girl was like, you're not copying, you just dancing. I'm like, I'm copying. I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
Oh,
So
that's so cool, bro. That's sick.
that was funny. So that's how I get it. I get into the dance. But since I was coming from a depression, I was pretty much closed. I didn't really talk to the people. So the my first salsa teacher, his name is Alvaro de Souza. He still lives in Metz in France. He came to me and was like, "Dude, come to my class." And I was like, "Okay, but I'm a poor student. I can't afford a dance class." It's like, it doesn't matter, just come to my class. So I started like that, and I was like trying to get save a little bit money to pay for it, to pay for the fees. And he was like, I don't need your money. And I was like, dude, I have to pay because everybody's paying. I feel bad about coming to classes and
Yeah.
not paying at all. But I like the class. And it was like, yeah, if you want to do me a favor, start talking to the people. And I was like, but I'm talking, I'm polite. I say good morning, I say thank you at the end of the day. So it was like, no, you restricting your contact to people. You're
Oh.
not talking to people. And I was like, I don't need to talk to people. He's like, you sure you do need to talk to people? It's a social dance. So aside from dancing, there is a socializing part.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's how I kind of start like go out of my little shell, my little protection, and start talking with people. And I realized I was scaring some people because I wasn't talking much.
Okay.
It started being funny, and yeah, after a while, I integrated East Dance crew. So we started training more intensively. And he was like, "Oh, if you want to repay me for the free class, you gotta train and perform for me." I was like, "I'm fine. It means just to train more and
Uh-huh.
get better. I can't say no to that."
Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm curious, man. You have pretty good English. Do you speak French and English, correct?
Yeah,
I
French,
see you probably
English, and
speak
German.
multiple languages. Yeah, I said, well, Andrew, what did how many languages do you speak?
Well, now French, English, German, my dialect in Cameroon, and
What is
I'm
that?
learning
What is that called?
Portuguese.
I'm very curious.
It's Bafang.
Bafang. Okay. Real quick, man, tell me, how do I say hello in Bafang?
Zele.
Jalil.
Yeah,
Hey, that's it. So that's spoke language, and you said one more, right?
yeah.
What's the other one?
One more.
What?
Uh, um, when you say Zele, it's kind of a question. Actually, we don't have a formal good morning or hello. We have like it's it's kind of a question where you ask, "Is the sun up?" and somebody has to answer, "Yes, the sun is up."
Okay.
So it's like Zele Alei. So
Jalil
it's the answer.
Ali.
Exactly, it's the
That's so
answer.
cool, man. That's awesome. And so I'm
So
curious, man. I'm so jealous right now. But what did you learn? So you learn your native tongue. At what point did you learn French and German and English?
French and English are kind of like national language in Cameroon.
Okay.
So you kind of have to speak at least one of those two. And since I was training tennis in Cameroon, I had an American trainer. We had like a boot camp, and I played like really professionally. So we were like in tight contact with him, and you had to speak English, fluent English,
Yeah.
otherwise you couldn't understand him. So that's how I learned pretty quick. And also, my neighbor, they used to only speak English, and I was pretty close friends to them. So we just got used to talk English. One of them is living in US and he's teaching Kizomba there as well. His
What's
name
his
is
name?
Steve. Steve.
Okay. Steve. Can I get his last name? You know his last name?
Steve for them.
Okay. Just curious, man. I don't know if I knew him or not.
He's
Oh,
teaching in Minnesota.
okay. And I'm curious, man. So I was born in Germany. Uh,
Yeah.
I was. How did you learn German, man?
Well, I kind of like after my graduation, I had to decide in which country I go. And it's a funny story because my dad wanted me to go to France, and I was like, no, I don't want to go to France. I wanted to go to the US, and my dad didn't want me to go. Then I changed to Canada, and it was like it's still a no. And it's my uncle that came and was like, let's do a compromise between the two of you, German. And I was like, I'm not gonna learn a new language. He was like, of course you're gonna learn a new language. Otherwise, you're not gonna go out of this house. And I was like, okay, I buy it. So that's how I came down to learn German. I spent like 6 months in Cameroon learning the language through doing language courses. And then I moved to Germany. I passed the exam after a month. And then I had like pretty much like a little bit, a couple of months more just to get used to how to talk to people in the street and TV and stuff like that.
That's
Um,
amazing, man.
and then you just go to university, and the rest you just surf the wave. Let's put it that way.
How old were you when you learned German?
I was 19.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I'm trying to learn Spanish right now, and it's so difficult. And
Dude,
you
I
learn.
understand you. I feel it because I'm still learning Portuguese. Like I know a few words. I can understand when they speak really slow, but the moment they start rapping, I'm like, dude, you just got me lost. So yeah, it's a
But dude,
complicated topic.
you speak four different languages. That's so awesome, man. That's amazing.
It's okay. I'm telling you, there is more. If I had more time, I think I could learn more language.
I believe it, man. That's sick, dude. So hold on, man. So you graduate and you moved. Did you go to university in France? Is that what you did, or what you do?
I moved to Germany, and
Okay.
after because I started studying physics in Cameroon, I
Uh huh.
finished the physics study in Germany, and then I
Oh.
had I had a scholarship for a three national program between France, Luxembourg, and Germany. And the first year was in France, so I moved to
Oh.
France again to Metz. That's where I started salsa. And then from there, I moved to Luxembourg for a year and a half. And it's in Luxembourg that I discovered Kizomba before moving back to
Okay.
Germany.
Okay. So I want to talk about all of them, though, man. So what was it like living in Germany, man?
Oh, it's pretty okay. I think I live like in so far maybe in 6 different cities.
Okay.
And it was pretty okay. Like I moved always to cities where people were kind of open mind. It was not really like maybe once I was like in a really small town, but the rest of the time was pretty okay. People are open, they talk. Most German, they're pretty direct. They say what they think. So it's sometimes if you're not used to that, it might surprise you, but they don't mean it bad. They just that's just the person, the people, the attitude, the culture. They just say what they think, and they pretty much hard worker. So you kind of get into that rhythm. Like you have to be on time, you have to work, get your shit out. So yeah, so it's quite cool. Actually, I really like it here because it helped me develop as a person. Getting like the um how do you call it? Um, get a few set of rules like be on time, be serious, and blah blah blah. Really down the track, like really into me. Because in Germany it's like really important. They like so exact in whatever they try to do that at a certain point you just have to integrate it in your system.
Okay. I definitely understand that, man. I understand that. I know. Where are you working at now? Can I ask?
Uh-huh.
So
Where
where are
I'm
you working
working.
at? Yeah, where are you working at now?
Well, I study civil engineering and I'm working right now as a senior manager in a big company, Swedish company that is integrated in Germany, and they have projects all around Europe. So in Switzerland, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, France, um, Austria, Belgium, literally
Okay.
almost everywhere. And I just started in there, like as a senior. It's
Okay,
actually my
that's awesome.
second week, so it's
Okay.
pretty
Oh wow.
much it's really challenging. But I'm learning a lot. It's a big company, and they're in the middle of restructuration, so there's a lot of moving inside the company. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That is. I'm curious, man. How old are you?
I turned 30 last August.
Last one. I broke up. When you turn 30?
Last August,
Okay. All right. Happy
last
belated
summer.
birthday, man.
Thank you.
All right. So check it
Thank
out,
you
man.
so
So
much.
you're moving back and forth and everything. And you said you learned Kizomba in Germany. Is that what you said?
No, in
Oh,
Luxembourg.
and I'm sorry,
I
in
discovered,
Luxembourg.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
I
curious.
discovered there.
Yeah, how did you get introduced to it?
Oh, it's a funny story actually. If I may say, I wasn't at the beginning. I wasn't addicted to Kizomba. I actually didn't like it. That's funny, right? For
Right?
a
It
teacher
is.
to say that.
Uh-huh.
But the story is, I was where we were invited to a festival to perform with my old salsa crew, and I already moved to Luxembourg. But I didn't know much in Luxembourg, so I didn't find any good salsa parties, so I was bored. And there was that girl in the backstage that came and shoot like, "Who is living in Luxembourg here?" And my teacher was like, "Yeah, this guy." And she's like, "Oh, you should come to Kizomba class." And I was like, "What is Kizomba?" And she's like, "Come look at the demo and you're gonna like it." And I was like,
Okay.
not sure about that, but I'm gonna check it out. Anyway, I'm here. So I checked the demo and I was like, well, it doesn't look that challenging.
It doesn't look hard.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, it's really like close to the Caribbean Zouk, so I'm not sure I'm gonna take classes because I know how to move. That was my basic idea. And then after the festival, we went back to our respective place, home. And one I think it was one Saturday or Friday. I was kind of bored at home, and I was like, "Damn, I don't have anything to do, so let's check that
Oh.
thing again." So I Googled it, and I was like, "Oh, it's happening in that bar." So I went to that place, and the girl that I met in that festival, she was giving classes. If I recall well, sorry, if I recall well, it was like Kizomba intermediate class. So I went in and I took a drink, and I was just watching because it was like I was like, okay, at the very least I can maybe learn something.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, you there for the class?" I was like, "Nope, I came here to have a drink, so don't mind me." And she was like, "Oh, but you look like the guy I already met at the festival." I was like, "No, you getting the wrong guy." And she's like, "No, I'm pretty sure it's you." I was like, "No, you get definitely the wrong guy. I don't even know which festival you're talking about." And she's like, "Anyway, I rented the whole bar, so I actually did is my place. And if you here, you have to take the class." I was like, "Okay, fine, then I'm gonna leave." And she's like, "No, no, 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 don't leave. You stay." And I was like, "But I don't know that shit. And if I break the leg of a girl
Gotta
because
go.
I'm trying those cross things and whatever, it's gonna be dangerous. I hope one of you subscribe for an insurance." And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna do fine." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna do fine." And it's not a beginner class, it's an
They say,
intermediate.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
She's like, "It doesn't matter, you just do. Otherwise, you're out." I was like, "But I can go out." She's like, "No, you don't go out." And everybody was like, "No, no, you don't go out." I was like, "What the?" So I started, like the first two girls I got, I think we almost fell like 20 times.
Oh, shit.
But it was fun. And I was like, "Oh," and the group taking the class, it seemed they were like really cool. So I was like, it's not so bad. Maybe I should come for a second time. I was still studying. So I started coming to the class. Well, it turns out to be interesting, but I was mostly going there because the group was really fun. I was enjoying the company. We were eating together and stuff like that. So for me, it was like, oh, if we had to dance on our hands, that would be the same for me. Like I
Okay.
don't care about the dance. I just care about the crew right now. It's just the most
That's
important.
awesome, man. That's cool.
And after that, the first event we wanted to go, like we went to different parties there in Belgium and France. And after that, there was that one festival, the Lille Kizomba Connection in Lille. And everybody was so hype about it. And I was like, that's cool. I can go because I don't have money. I'm a poor student, so I can afford it. And I have my rent, my month rent to pay. So before I pay for a freaking festival, I'm gonna
Right.
make sure that I don't have any days open. And
Right.
they, oh, you definitely have to come and stuff like that. I was like, guys, you just got the wrong person for that. And I was like, if you want me to come, then my rent is open first. On a Friday before the festival, my phone is ringing, and me be like, yeah, what is it? And I hear my friend was like, come out of your room. And I was like, what is it? It was like, come out. I came out, and the guy was like, here's the money for your rent.
Oh,
So you put
wow.
your bank account, you pay for it, you go back to your room, you pack your stuff, we're waiting for you here.
Hey.
I missed a chapter there. Scroll back, explain. The guy's like, that is the money for your rent. Your full pass is already booked. Your hotel is already booked. The food will take
Whoa.
care of everything.
That's awesome.
I was like, there has to be a catch somewhere.
Right? Right?
Like the catch is you have to be in the minivan and drive with us. That's it. And I was like, I don't have money. They were like, nobody asked you to get money, my friend. And I was like, I don't pay back this money. I didn't ask for it. They were like, we didn't ask you to pay back for it. That's not even worth money for us.
Okay.
Okay, we're not playing the same league, but fine, thank you. So I went to the bank, I paid my rent. After that, I went to my room, packed a few stuff, and I was in the car. I went to that festival.
What festival was that?
It was the Lil Kizomba Connection, the very first edition.
Oh,
There was Morenaso. Albi wasn't teaching there. Was They were like Simeon, Mopao, like the few old teachers, Curtis, Mandela, Tony Pirata. That festival was like the click for me.
okay, okay.
That's when I started liking Kizomba because the class were already good. Like class, not nowadays at festival. The moment you get into the class, the teacher will test you and see if you fit the level. So you couldn't get into an advanced class if you were a beginner just because you like the
Oh,
teacher. You had to have the skills to pay the bills. So he had like 10 minutes, and I think it was one class of Morenazo. At the end of the first 5 minutes, I think we had three or four leads left in the class, and the rest will follow.
okay. I know more now. So he does Simba, right?
Yeah, he does Samba, he
I've
does
seen him.
Kizomba, he does Afro.
Yeah, I know who you're
The
talking
guy
about.
was so strict, and I was like, wow, okay, that's something different.
I've never
So
heard.
I
So he was actually kicking leads out. I've never heard of that.
no, that was how festival used to run in the 8 years, 9 years ago.
Oh
Like you would
wow.
get there, and the teacher was allowed to check if you have the appropriate level, so that what they prepare for intermediate or advanced, they can teach it to advanced, not having beginners at an advanced class where you have to put down your level. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it was how it worked, but that wasn't the best part. It was already like really good, and I was really hyped. After that, we went back to the hotel, ate, and it's the party. The moment we stepped into the,
Yeah.
it was like those music clip that you see on YouTube and stuff like that. People dancing on slow motions and stuff. I was like, wow, okay, I need to learn that shit properly because damn, that looks awesome.
That's
Like,
the good thing about festivals.
yeah, you get there and it's like everybody's dancing, and sometimes there is like a break or a slowdown in the music. And imagine 500 people just slowing down at the same time and moving again like it was all planned. And I was like, damn, I need to get to that level.
Right?
So that's how I got really hype about Kizomba. And on the way back, we were all like learning how to do the proper tarasha, the really fun. But we got really hooked about Kizomba. Like literally all of our group, we were the very first Kizomba student, aside from Cape Verdean in Luxembourg. So right now, almost everybody is a teacher, like traveling worldwide to teach. So it was really an experience, like to be one of the very few that got to
Yeah.
get to the level was really something. So yeah, that's how I really got to Kizomba.
Uh-huh.
Let's put it that way.
So yeah, you come back. So you go to that festival, and you come back. And
And we
so, huh?
we all dead and high. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. So go on. Keep going. I want to hear the rest. Keep going.
Well, that would like if you ask me how I get hooked about Kizomba, that's pretty much it. After a while, it was like our teacher couldn't take care of the class, so she wanted me to take care of the beginners class and stuff like that. But I was so not into being a teacher because
Hey.
I'm a free person. So I like to get into a party, do my crazy shit, and nobody just pay attention to me. And it was more or less like, yeah, you're one of the best, so you can take care of it. And I was like, nah, I don't feel like doing it. I'm really much happy just going and having fun, and I don't want responsibilities and stuff like that. So she was on me, and I was running away because I didn't want to teach. And then I had to move back to Germany. And it's the moment that hits me. that Kizomba wasn't so spread because I went to a few parties and I was like Kizomba and nobody even heard the name. And it
Oh,
was not far away. So I went to one DJ, I even give him the music. He was like, dude, I'm not playing that. I don't know that shit. And I was like, wow, okay. Something has to be changed. At least I want to be able to dance with a few people.
right.
That's why I kind of accepted to start doing Kizomba to teach. But I was like, okay, if I have to teach, then I need to go back and learn properly how to
Yeah,
teach.
exactly.
So I went to a dancer. His name is oh damn it, my bad. I forgot his name. Don't I really forgot. He's gonna kill me for that. If he that, definitely gonna kill me for that. Um, exactly. His name is Johnny Floor. He was the cousin or the uncle, like the cousin exactly, of one of the guy I learned Kizomba with. Chin Floor is the name of the guy, and his cousin was Johnny Floor. And Johnny Floor is the one that gave me the few basic about how to teach, how to handle a class. So I was like, I might be a good dancer, but a good dancer is not automatically a good teacher.
Right,
Like
exactly.
a good teacher belongs to good pedagogy, structures and stuff like that, how to show, how to present yourself, how to carry yourself in front of people, how to present stuff, how to break down things. So I learned a few pointers. I got a few pointers and do a little training with him for a while, and then I started teaching, mostly because I wanted to get it regional. Let's put
I,
it that way.
I'm curious, man. What was it like learning to teach?
Oh, it's a difference. It's something different because at a certain point now you have to understand what you are doing without thinking. So you have to be able to. Your job is basically imagine that you have a kid in front of you and you have to explain something complicated in the most easiest way, in the most easiest word possible.
Right, 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 right.
So it was a challenge because I had to break down what I was thinking I already mastered and realizing that actually I didn't master them the way I should, but it's through teaching that I realized okay, in this I need to take care of this before even showing that to my student because then you realize where people mostly do mistakes and then you learn out of it. You learn from teaching and that's
Yeah,
something
exactly.
really it's beautiful but it's challenging as well. It's a job that you have first of all to learn because you don't improvise teaching. You learn it and you have to do a proper training to be well versed into the teaching thing. So yeah,
I'm curious. So, how old were you when you learned Kizomba? When you first saw it?
I was 20,
28?
20,
No,
20.
20. Okay, okay. And at what age did you start teaching it?
A year and a half later, like 21 or
Okay.
almost 20.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So I took a year to learn and I took like around 6 months where I was learning how to teach.
Okay. I understand that, man. And so, you start teaching you start teaching in Germany, right?
Yeah, I started teaching in Germany in Saarbrücken. It's in
Uh-huh.
the southwest of Germany. And
And
then I
so,
went to a, yeah.
well, I want to ask you this, man. So, what was that scene like in where you first were? Whether was it a small group of people that you were teaching? How'd you find students?
Well, I'm basically, it was because of a dance teacher he already had his school and he wanted me to teach in his school because people were kind of asking for it, but nobody was able to teach it. So I was like, he was like, yeah, I hear you dancing Kizomba. Literally everyone is talking about you in Luxembourg. So you have to be a hell of a good dancer. I was like, I might be a good dancer, but I'm not a good teacher because I never did a
Right.
class. So I need time first of all to learn how to do it and after that I will maybe start teaching but it's not my first goal. I'm not looking for a way to make money. I'm fine the way I am. I don't want to use it. And he was like, yeah, but you have the opportunity even if you want to do just a class to be able to dance at a social or have a proper social, somebody has to start. So
Right.
that's why I actually started, because at the time we were doing that in Germany, we were maybe like four teachers, and that was it. So you couldn't really like cover all the demand, all the requests about Kizomba. And in my region, like where I was, there was literally no one. It
Okay.
was like a no man land. Nobody was there doing Kizomba at all.
I'm curious.
And that's,
What was like salsa, bachata, merengue? Was that popular in Luxembourg?
yeah, really strong. Even in Germany, salsa and bachata is really strong.
Oh wow.
So the moment you had to come with a new dance, everybody will look at you like, oh, that's too close, it's not proper, and this and there and there. So it was really tough to introduce Kizomba, especially to people that come with already um, their mindset. Like
I
they already take it for bad and they never consider it. But let's say it turned out fine. Like it took a while to start, because at the beginning I was really fighting to get students, because they were like not sure or not showing up. And it's after a whole year that it started taking off. Like
wow.
I spent a year having maybe like two people, three people. So I wasn't really happy, but the people that were coming, they were like they really appreciate it and they don't understand why people are not coming. I think it's mostly a trend thing, and people just need to have the first experience and be like, oh wow, or hear from other people. So the year went by, and the second year is when it started blooming and booming. Like I was almost like planning to leave the city where I was living, and then I had, out of the blue, 60 people in front of me. I was like, where the fuck were you the whole fucking year? I can't be waiting for you. I'm already tired. I was closing the group. Like I was closing the class.
I'm curious,
And
man. What do you think changed? What changed for you?
for me, I don't know. But I think for people, it was more or less because they hear that it's the new trend. They hear that it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's not just like the old traditional thing, but it can have a flavor of a little bit um, R&B, hip hop feeling in it, especially in the ghettos part. So they start to get hooked up on it, because everybody was starting to do kizomba everywhere. So it was like kind of a snowball. It started somewhere and just everybody started following.
I'm curious, man. Was it your class? Was it an older crowd or was it more younger people?
It was a mix. It was actually, I was surprised because it was a good mix. Um, we started with a lot of older people because they were coming from tango, from salsa, from bachata. And after that, it started to be a little bit younger, because in the city where I was, luckily, there were a lot of young girls and guys, mostly girls, that were interested into Kizomba. So they start also bringing guys. So it makes it a little bit more interesting. It was kind of balanced. Yeah, that was really interesting.
And so
And
I'm
from
curious.
that, yeah,
Oh well, I mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Did you have a female follow, or were you also teaching the female part as well?
I was at the beginning, I had to teach the female part because I didn't have any follow that was like really ready to assist me during the class. So actually during my teacher training, I had to learn how to follow, and I had to learn how to explain follows, where they are, what they have to pay attention to. So yeah, it was interesting, it was good, it was challenging, but it was a good first experience. And from there, it just started get crazy and crazier and crazier and crazier. And now I'm where I am right now. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I, I know you. I know you have to work in the morning, man. I don't want to hold you
No
up too
problem,
long,
no,
man.
no problem, no problem, no problem.
Okay. I'm curious, man. What was the hardest part about learning Kizumba for you?
The hardest part. let's say I took it as a game. For me, it was fun to get as close as possible to a girl, especially with our teacher that would be letting us being apart from girls. So you have to be close and stick to her. The complicated part was figuring out the lead, I think, and balance, especially for the girls, because the moment you want to start playing with tricks and stuff like that, you need to kind of have a good understanding of weight transfer and balance.
Yeah.
So it was kind of challenging, but it was good.
I want to know, man. Give me one tip to make a lead immediately better. One thing that they could do to make them better.
Tell them to consider their body as an instrument,
As an
as a whole
instrument.
instrument. Like not only the lead as a like or the dance as how can I or the dance as just where they use their feet and just their hands, but the whole body has to be representing music. They can use every part to express themselves.
Okay.
And my basic training consider the push like is revolve around helping people to be aware of their body,
Uh-huh.
of their balance, of what they can do with their body, starting from being alone before you get it done with a partner. Because it's once you understand your own body that you're able to figure out what is
Okay.
happening with
Okay.
your partner. So
I want to ask you the same thing, man. For follows, what is something that they can do to make them better immediately?
let go.
And be more specific, please. What you mean?
To let go means to unconditionally trust your partner, even if he's a beginner,
Okay.
because you learn to follow the moment you stop thinking and you
Ah.
completely listen not to the music, but listen completely to your partner. Your partner, the lead has to be your music.
Mm.
That's how I mostly explain it. The moment you try to do it and try to imagine that you're dancing with your boyfriend and you trust your boyfriend, then your position, your hands, the body tension, your connection is gonna be skyrocketing.
Okay, now I understand that, man. I'm curious, man. I know you have a day job. Is your goal to, hopefully teach full time, or what's your goal right now?
From for now, I think I used to teach like per week in three different countries, like
Oh.
every week. So it was really intense. I spent like 5 years without having any vacation because I was always on tour or working or switching between work and tour. And for now, I don't aim to be teaching full time anymore. I aim to create maybe my own structure, build it from ground zero, where like similar to Broadway, but with even more dances and even more options with people that think the same as me, and having artists going around the world. I want
Okay.
to help people to be the better version of themselves because
Yeah.
I think dance is important. Dance is good. It doesn't only teach us about how to move our body, it also teaches us about how to carry ourselves around people. It
Yeah.
teaches us confidence. It teaches a lot of things. And I want to give it back to people. I think
I,
it's something that a lot of people will like to appreciate, even if they're not dancers. That will help them develop themselves as persons.
yeah. I definitely understand that, man.
So,
I'm curious, man. When I say the word musicality, what does that mean to you?
musicality, it's a word that is as big as ocean. It means for me everything. Being musical define you as a dancer. We cannot dance without music. We dance because there is music. So musicality is the core. It is our everything. And being a dancer means being musical.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. In
And I,
musicality, you have like a lot. You have actually my forte is been teaching musicality, and I do actually musicality trainings because for me it's important that people raise their awareness about how to listen to music and how to react and present music because there is a story, there is a lot of things hidden into the music that we can bring out. And it's the people that are able to make music visible that are the best answers.
yeah. And so for myself and other people who are unable to take your musicality class, how can I become better at musicality? What can I do?
There are a few things like, first of all, trying to define yourself into the music. Try to find out what you can hear or not hear and what you can understand when you hear an instrument. What connection do you have to that instrument? Because every single one of us has a different story, has a different understanding about music, and it's not about blending people into my vision, but it's making them discover themselves into the music and tell their stories into the music. So I advise people to come because I also have like a few online, um, um, a few video class, online class where I like kind of present a little bit the concept, or I do private online training for people that I need of musicality training. It's not theoretical because I hate to be talking and people just listen. So I have a set of exercise to help people raise their musicality awareness. Um, and I also have on my website a few articles where I post about musicality, my definition, be it on timing, be on instrument, being on understanding. And I'm preparing like a bigger article. Maybe it's gonna be a small book about musicality itself, my perception of musicality, to be honest.
That's awesome, man. Please, I want you to plug your website. How can people find you and your website?
The website is quite simple. It's my name, Donald Wilson dance, and just everybody can jump on it. You have access to literally everything. I post pictures of wherever I've been, the place I like. I post my impression about those. I post my videos there. You have access to my Facebook web page from there. You also have access to my articles, so you can read them over there. You have also my calendar, so if you want to catch me, find me there. And lastly, you can contact me. You have my email, so you can connect and write me whenever you feel like. I'll always answering to people. So whenever you have questions about classes, about music, about dance in general, because my aim is not just to train Kizomba dancers, but to train dancers. So I give a training in all around, being in basic footwork, like proper way of stepping form, weight transfer, balance, coordination, before I get down to dance, which is really important for every type of dance and every kind of dancers. So hit me up whenever you have question. I'll gladly answer it. And my musicality and my musical explanation is focused on Kizomba. It is focused on music.
Okay. I understand that, man. I want to thank you, Donald, man. For just taking time out your night to come talk to me, man.
No problem. It was really fun. It was really fun, and I really appreciate.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate the fact that you reach out to me to have the podcast because I really feel honored about the possibility you gave me. So
Yeah,
thank you
man.
very much.
I know it was an honor both ways, man. Because I know you know so much, man. So I really do appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate what you're doing and really supporting it. So keep
Hey,
doing it. It's really good.
hey,
Thank
hey.
you.
Of course, man. So listen, man. when I post this on YouTube, I'm gonna make sure I put all your website, your Facebook, Instagram. I'm gonna put all that in the description. I got you, man.
Thank you very
Of
much.
course.
Thanks.
Yeah, 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 of
Thanks.
course, man. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, yeah, of
guys.
course, of course.
Thanks.
But like I said, yeah, man. I know you gotta work in the morning, man. So like I said, thank you so much, man. Thank you,
I
Donald.
thank you very much. So have a very done. So
I'm
thanks. It
still
was
here, man.
great.
Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Good night, Donald, man.
Good night. Good night. Have a nice time.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
All right, so hey everyone. If you made it this far to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much for just watching this. I really hope that you found value in this. My whole goal in this endeavor is to give a voice to people, to dancers, and to give value to the dance community. So if I'm not giving value, it's kind of pointless. So I strongly urge you to please comment and let me know where I can improve, what I need to do better, what I'm doing wrong, and hopefully what I'm doing right, but my overall goal is I want to give content. I want to be helpful. So please let me know where I can improve upon. I'm new to all this, so I'm learning as I go. So I need feedback. Please comment and just let me know how I can improve. I would greatly appreciate that. That means the world to me, just to be able to interact with you all, have a conversation with you, and just see what you like and what you don't like. That means the world to me. I love interacting with you all. It means so much to me. But yeah, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. I gotta say, please leave a like, subscribe. If you don't like it, then let me know why not. Hit the down like button, hit the unlike button. But thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.